want to just go over one of the things that we introduce all new athletes to here at Cal Strength. And it's basically our perception of what our role is in your journey. So the idea that we're strength coaches, we really want to make sure that we highlight athleticism as our number one priority. And so what we mean by athleticism is the base of this pyramid here. And so we've kind of defined it as general coordination, strength, and this can be strength across a variety of different domains. So from speed strength to maximal strength to strength endurance. Power, so that work over time equation, how explosive you are as an athlete. That's going to have a lot to do with both your neuromuscular coordination, so your sequence of recruitment, and then your innervation and twitch rate. Speed, so both linear and lateral speed. Flexibility, so really dynamic flexibility. What type of range of motion can you put your body through in movement? Structural balance, so what type of posterior and anterior balances can we develop so that we are protecting the athlete against injury long term. And then symmetry, so right to left, making sure things are firing appropriately, making sure that the body is working as efficiently as possible. So this base of athleticism is something that we really try and pound into athletes as being the primary function of what happens here in a weight room. So irrespective of what sport you play, we want to make sure that your athleticism is prioritized, because in our mind, a better athlete can then go and become a better participant in whatever sport they choose. So this base, that's our responsibility. Above that, you have sport-specific properties. So this is the fundamentals of whatever game you play or whatever activity you participate in. So if it's football and you're an offensive lineman, your ability to pass block and to run block. If you are a tennis player, your forehand and your backhand and your serve, all of those qualities that are specific to your sport. And really, we believe this is the coach's domain. There's not a whole lot of sports specificity that we assign in the weight room that we believe is actually going to improve your athletic performance on the field of play. Above that, tactical preparation. So understanding that a lack of confidence, and I've said this many times, is the heaviest anchor an athlete can wear. So being the smartest athlete on the field allows you to improve recognition speed and helps you play your game at a much faster pace, a much more dominant player if you are a great student of your sport. So sport specific, tactical, these are the domain of coaches and athletes to be able to work in tandem to bring about. And then finally, mental preparation. So we define mental preparation as what athletes do every single day to prepare. So we have a very simple way of dialing this up. And what we do is just encourage every single athlete to walk through the door to become a better person, a better student, and a better athlete in that order. And so if we can just focus on those things, becoming a better person, better student, better athlete allows us to accomplish all of our other goals. And it doesn't really have to be much more complicated than that. And that yields accountability and a focus on process. Now, what we see here, though, is that this base oftentimes will get neglected, especially for young athletes. In today's world, early specialization is a real issue that we face on a daily basis. So if you're playing year-round soccer or year-round baseball, and you neglect this area, we find that ultimately athletes get capped. So it doesn't matter how good you become at your sport or how smart you become in the context of your sport. If you neglect your base, you can only take your expertise so far, right? So there's guys that are in high school that are freshman quarterbacks that are as smart and capable as I've ever seen, and ultimately, if we try and plug them into a college setting, they're going to get destroyed because they're just not fast enough, they're not strong enough to absorb some of the hits. And so just making sure that we keep this base as a priority for young athletes, and really all athletes. And so the low-hanging fruit for most people is to grow this base. When we grow this base of athleticism, it doesn't give us a guarantee, but it gives us the opportunity to continue to unlock potential. And at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to do, is make sure that our athletes are in the best possible position, that they're healthy, that they're strong, they're powerful, that they're flexible, that they have structural balance and symmetry, and that ultimately allows them to participate at higher and higher levels of competition.